Hello and hi, welcome to Yedidia Shofet.net and welcome to Jewish Wisdom Week number 61. So today I'm going to go through a question which a few people have asked me similar type questions, and they were hinting to me an idea which this question deals with. Now listen to the question. Rabbi, since fear is usually considered a harmful emotion, won't fear of God be damaging to one's well-being? Basically, God is supposed to be kind. They keep telling me, God is kind, God is kind. Why does it keep saying, Yirat Hashem, Yirat Hashem, fear God, fear God, fear God? If God is kind, why should I fear Him? It's a perfectly good question. More than that, fear is a very big problem these days, because if you look around you, the reason why so many people are not successful is because fear, it's ingrained in them. For instance, they have parents that they beat their children, or you have husbands and wives that the spouses beat each other, and what happens is they're not able to grow, they're not able to flourish, and that fear basically keeps them from becoming someone. Now, if that's the case, then by God, who is all kind, is all loving, why would I have this idea of fear? It just doesn't make sense. I'm not going to be able to continue in my Judaism to be able to do any of the mitzvot. Let's say if I have to fear God at all times, and that means I'm doing mitzvot, I'm doing deeds and everything, but I have to be scared that God's going to do something to me. What should I do? So the Rabbi says, no, you missed the complete idea of what it means to have Yirat Hashem, to have fear of Hashem. And he says, by fear, general fear is a major problem. Why? Because by any general fear, a person is going to always have a constant worry. It's going to bring upon him insecurity. When a person has insecurity, do you know what happens to him? He will never give it his best. For instance, he's going to always feel that, look, if I try, I'm going to mess up. And he's going to have fear from trying. He's going to, what does he say over here? He says something very beautiful. He says a person who is afraid of disapproval. If, for instance, you have people who don't go on dates because, they're scared that they may be turned down. Or a person, they're scared to start a new business because they're scared that they're going to be turned down. In Orchot Tzadikim, which is the ways of the Tzadikim, the ways of the righteous, it talks about people that are too scared because, they always say there's another problem going to go over their head. That, at the end, is just an insecurity. That fear is not real fear. That turns into paranoia. And at the end of that idea, what happens is that fear just ruins the person. It doesn't ever bring him to any success. But how does fear of a God bring him success? So something very beautiful. When you have fear of God, you realize who God really is. You realize that, look, He's like a king. He's someone there that every single one of my actions do make a difference. My behavior does make a difference. Not the fact that, look, I have to fear HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I have to fear God, that, any second He's going to strike me. No, that's far from the case. Rather, when you're truly aware of what's God's presence in your life, and that God Himself, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is able to help you. Let's say you start a new business, you go out on a date, you do any of these things, and you realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that God is with you on all of this, and you put your complete devotion in anything you do. You have your fear of Hashem, meaning that He has a strength over you, that He has a strength and He has an ability to help you go through things. Then what does that fear turn into? That fear turns into an understanding of how powerful HaKadosh Baruch Hu really is in your life. How much of a difference He can actually make in your life for the better. Not for the sake of that now that you're terrified of God. No. That's completely the opposite. If that's what a person thinks, he completely missed the boat as to what Hashem represents in his life. Because if a person takes HaKadosh Baruch Hu seriously, and he fears Him in an awe-inspiring way, that, wow, look, that's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's amazing, I don't want to joke around with Him, He can actually make a difference in my life. That's the fear that we are talking about. Fear, we're not talking about being paranoid. A person who's paranoid, he never will understand what the source is. A paranoia comes from complete not understanding. It comes from complete confusion. A person who's paranoid is always worried about what's going to happen. It's because he doesn't have any certainty in his life. But when you have a HaKadosh Baruch Hu in your life, when you have Hashem in your life, and you have the fear of God in your life, meaning that you have this awareness that there's someone above you, and that everything that you do, it makes a difference for the better. then that you're going to make sure to control yourself at the times when it's needed to be controlled, then you'll be able to only move forward. That's the beauty about having fear of Hashem. Fear of Hashem, it gives you that mental support in order to do your best. Bezrat Hashem, I wish you a beautiful Shabbat, and may we all understand this idea that how it could improve our lives, how could it improve that, look, there's always a camera on me. There's a camera on me saying that, look, we want to see you do your best. And that's exactly how we should take every moment of our life. I want to wish you a beautiful night. Shabbat Shalom.